The following is an Investor Brand Network audio production via our audio press release solutions. As a multifaceted financial news and publishing company, Investor Brand Network utilizes its network of more than 5,000 distribution partners as well as other corporate communication tools to introduce public and private companies to a wide audience of investors, consumers, journalists, and the general public. Investor Brand Network's platform connects the investment community with companies that have great potential and a strong dedication to building shareholder value. The following audio press release may feature a client partner of Investor Brand Network. Investor Brand Network may have been compensated for the production of this audio production. Please be sure to read our entire disclaimer for full disclosure.
Network Newswire presents Latin America, not U.S., spearheading advancements in global cannabis markets. When Democrats took control of Capitol Hill during the elections in November 2020, there was growing optimism that federal legalization of cannabis was in the cards for Americans. 9 months into the new administration, progress has been slow in the United States. Latin American, or LATAM, countries, on the other hand, have moved forward with new laws ending cannabis prohibition and supporting the industry, moving to generate government revenue, cut into illicit sales, and bring novel therapeutic options to people in need. Colombia, Mexico, and Panama are emerging as global pioneers promoting responsible cannabis commerce, which bodes well for Flora Growth Corporation, NASDAQ ticker symbol FLGC, a company with robust operations in Colombia. These countries are following the example set forth by Canada, which has given rise to some of the legal cannabis's juggernauts, such as Canopy Growth Corporation, CGC, Tilray Inc, TLRY, and Sundial Growers Inc, SNDL, as other companies such as Innovative Industrial Properties Incorporated, IIPR, lend additional support to the growing market. Mexico, Panama, and Colombia made significant moves supporting legal cannabis industries, including Colombia now allowing exports of dried flower. Flora Growth is an emerging leader in Colombia with a portfolio of brands, dozens of licenses, and burgeoning distribution networks globally. Flora's operations include 247 square acres of licensed land proven to grow premium organic cannabis at 6 cents per gram, nearly 98% cheaper than some Canadian peers. A spate of new laws in Colombia gives Flora a competitive edge for expedited growth through its family of companies and massive land position. Colombia, a beacon in LATAM cannabis. LATAM commands investor attention as a region where meaningful progress is happening, not stagnating as in the United States. Late in June, Mexico's Supreme Court opened the door to adult-use marijuana legalization by declaring prohibition of recreational cannabis as unconstitutional. Last month, Panama legalized medical marijuana, aligning the country with at least 7 other LATAM countries that allow some form of cannabis at the federal level. Perhaps the biggest news of the summer out of LATAM arrived in July when Colombia authorized exports of dried cannabis flower for medical use, bookending about 5 years' worth of legislative changes favoring legal cannabis. Colombia had already established cannabis infrastructure by allowing production, distribution, and exports of many cannabis goods, including seeds and derivatives such as ointments, but the country had held exporting dried flower, far and away the most popular version of the plant, as verboten. Decree 811, issued July 23, 2021, changed that, making the country's intentions clear to be a market leader. Flora Growth Corporation, trading under the ticker symbol FLGC on NASDAQ, has the distinction of being the first traditional cannabis company to IPO on the NASDAQ exchange, successfully completing its initial public offering in May. It also has the distinction of operating one of the largest outdoor organic cannabis cultivation facilities in Colombia, where it benefits from production costs that are markedly lower than industry averages. Flora is entrenched in cannabis in Colombia, where it has diversified businesses spanning the market spectrum, including production, research and development, wholesale, and consumer packaged goods with a brand portfolio covering pharmaceuticals, textiles, cosmetics, and food and beverage goods. All told, Flora has more than 340 products, 70-plus medical and cosmetic licenses, and more than 2,500 points of distribution across LATAM and the U.S. with sales across 13 other countries. The company's partners in Colombia include Importaciones y Accesorios Tropi S.A.S., better known as Tropi, the largest food distributor in Colombia, which has more than 130,000 distribution points across the country. Flora's sales channels are expanding internationally, which dovetails perfectly with the new Colombian export laws as Flora's distribution extends throughout LATAM, Europe, and the United Kingdom. Future revenue was bolstered in June when Flora agreed to acquire Switzerland-based Coke & Giselle, the parent of the hemp cigarette brand Hemat. The company also deepened its EU inroads with an LOI for a €2 million investment in the European cannabis company Hoshi International Incorporated. Low production costs, big competitive edge. As noted by Prohibition Partners in its second edition of the Latin America and Caribbean Cannabis Report, low-cost labor and construction costs in the LATAM region mean that the overall cost of cannabis production can be up to 80% lower than North American counterparts. Flora takes it to the next level with production costs in pilot programs on the company's 10.8 million square feet, 247 square acres of licensed land at only 6 cents per gram of cannabis, about 97% less than the reported costs of Afria and Sundial at $185 per gram. These ultra-low production expenses are made possible through the combination of low labor costs, free water from the property's 6 natural springs, and high yields from near-ideal climate conditions that are conducive to at least 3 harvests per year. Inexpensive labor doesn't imply unskilled. Agriculture is at the heart of the Colombian economy, including growing cut flowers that supply over 70% of all those imported by the U.S. Partnerships starting to bloom. Flora's key partnerships include a new joint venture with Canada's Avaria, the owner of the popular Kalaya brand pain cream sold across Canada at leading retailers including Loblaws, Walmart, and London Drugs. Flora is a perfect partner for Avaria because it does not hold a license in Canada to produce cannabis-derived versions of its products at a commercial scale. Per the pact, Avaria will supply the product and Flora will distribute it throughout its expansive LATAM network with plans to penetrate U.S. markets too, while Flora Lab in Colombia works to produce Kalaya's CBD-infused products using cannabis from Flora's Colombian cultivation facility, Cosequimos. This summer, Flora's Casa Whole Foods Company inked a sales agreement with Tropi for which the distribution giant will begin placing Casa products throughout the country. The first shipment was delivered in July with a value of $1.1 million as part of an initial 1-year contract. Management expects to see that current contract increase to $2 million monthly for its CBD and hemp-based foods and drinks. Mambe, Casa's leading brand, already has more than 980 distribution points within Colombia, with expectations to exceed 1,200 by year's end, including sales in Tostao Café and Pan, one of Colombia's largest coffee chains. Mambe calls Laura Londoño its brand ambassador, with the award-winning Latin American actress talking up the brand to her 1.3+ million Instagram followers. Flora has a knack for attracting superstars, including adding former Miss Universe 2014 and Miss Colombia 2013 Paulina Vega as a founding partner in Flora Beauty products. More new laws. While the flower export laws are significant on their own, they are not the only legislative changes that Colombia has implemented recently to signal the country's commitment to the industry. Other new laws allow for the manufacturing, sale, and export of cannabinoid ingestible products, substantially reduce marketing restrictions on domestic cannabis products, meaning brands can actually do some advertising now, allow for the sale of cannabinoid medical products through drugstores as custom formulas, meaning pharmacists can prescribe and prepare products designed to complement medical prescriptions specific to a patient, and allow full industrial use of cannabis in textiles, plastics, paper, and construction materials. These are particularly important changes for Flora because of the scalability of operations. The company has run pilot tests on only about 5 acres of its 247 acres, with plans to start ramping up, and that's just scratching the surface. Flora also has rights to license another 5,268 acres, 230.3 million square feet, licensed in Puerto Boyacá, Santander, and North Central Colombia.
This audio press release is an original broadcast provided by Investor Brand Network, a multifaceted financial news and publishing company that delivers a new generation of corporate communication solutions, including news aggregation and syndication, social communication, and brand awareness tools. Investor Brand Network may receive payments for the services and solutions provided to its client partners. You should assume that the owners, officers, and directors of Investor Brand Network or financial analysts mentioned in this audio production may hold a position in and may intend to trade the securities on their own accounts. This audio production is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell any securities mentioned in this audio production. The information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be or should it be construed as investment advice. As in all investments, investment in the featured companies carries an investment risk. Listeners should review the companies thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This audio production by Investor Brand Network is not purported to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used and statements of fact have been obtained from featured companies and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by Investor Brand Network as to completeness or accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice. Please see our full disclaimers and disclosures at investorbrandnetwork.com.